Turn down your devices, turn down your television, turn down your radio. It's hump day and it's Outlaw Radio time. I am the world-class smartass, also known as Kevin Barnes. And yes, I'm a Scorpio. Welcome to the show, man. I'm not alone. I'm here to talk shit and swallow spit. You know, we can laugh, we can talk, we can joke, we can smoke. Just share the show is all that I ask that you do. And also hit the Cash App because I'm in dire need. Christmas is just ended and I'm broke. So hit my Cash App, right. We appreciate the kind of money that jingle, but we love the kind that fold. My partner, Mr. Mark Carter, with his top hat on. Yeah. What's going on with you, bro?
Life, man. Life is what's happening, man. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating talk. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, the hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. I'm all y'all holistic health and wellness coach. Come on, Carter. Peace to the family. I'm also the one who brings you nature's natural herbs and supplements and vitality. You can find it on Facebook, Nature's Natural Herbs and Supplements, or you go to my health page, Healthy Self, Heal Thyself, ask about me. Somebody gonna point you in my direction. Then you can go to my page, Kamar Carter, and inbox me, and I'm gonna tell you how to get your Nature's Natural Herbs and Supplements and vitality, y'all. Peace.
Yes, and I'm very happy to have this young brother here with us tonight. Some of you may know him. You may have seen his life story on the big screen. He is Mr. Billy Ray Valentine. What's going on?
Man, you know what? I tried to watch my movie this holiday season, and they was trying to make me rent it. So I was like, all right, I guess I got to pull my fire sticks back out. Because, you know, it ain't the holidays until I watch Trading Places, man. But I still got New Year's. So I still got time.
That's what's up, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. Happy to be here, man. How y'all doing?
Oh, man, we're doing great. Holding on like a hubcap in the fast lane. Also have my brother from another mother here, my big brother. And we got some hot shit tonight. Tell these people who you are, man. Tell them who you are.
I'm Sean Moore, man. I ain't nobody. You know, I'm just me. Father of 6. You know what I mean? I'm just me, man.
Okay, and you know they say even nobody is somebody, right? So you can't say you're nobody because on Outlaw Radio we all matter.
Nobody, man.
So welcome to the show. I'm somebody. Jesse Jackson.
I ain't got no titles. I ain't, I don't do nothing that nobody else.
You is smart. You is kind.
And people like you. Ace Cooley, what it do, man? He's in the chat room, man. Ace, what it do, man? My homeboy, man. Miss Bird, Nicole Bird, how you doing, sis? Tuning in on YouTube, which a lot of people should do. Justice for Denari, man. Justice for Denari.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we got a number, 262-202-5131. It is Outlaw Radio, man. This is the Hump Day edition. This is the last time I'm going to talk to y'all this year. So we got to make this one count, right? And I figure I call the show the re-up because, you know, normally I do a yearly retrospective. And this time I'm just going to put them all into one. So when we hit the ground in January, we're going to hit the ground running. We ain't looking back. So we'll talk about this crazy ass year we've been fortunate enough to make it through as we go along. The chat room is on deck. Peace to my brother, Jesse Parrish. Peace, Outlaws. This is brother Shay and Kruma from Frontline Black News. And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, the next mayor of Denver, Colorado. Shout out to the West Coast. Good luck on your run, my brother, and shout out to Shabaka out in California. He sent me a couple different invitations, and I've been meaning to join y'all, man, but shit been hectic, man. They say 7 ways from Sunday. It's been going down, so I've been a little busy, but I'm gonna get with y'all. I always enjoy that. He walk in the building, what it do, man. Now, Sean, I want you got some real shit because I watch what you sent me. So I want to get into this, but I want to tell people it's normally Mondays and Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Share the show, especially this. If you ain't never shared a show before, share this show. Based on what I just seen, based on what my brother just sent me, this is important. This is crucial conversation. And I'm kind of like, let me pause for a minute and let enough people get in here. But I got to spill it, right? I got to spill it. Patience Phillips, what's up, my sister? How you doing? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Y'all share the show. Ja El Monte, good evening, my family. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? How you
Peace.
doing? Justice for Denari. So let me frame this the correct way. About 3 weeks ago, my brother Sean Moore came on the show, and he talked about the effect that his activism and his real progressiveness in his neighborhood had on his life. And there's this hotspot place that everybody talks about. Everybody, this is people who ain't even from our community know about the hotspot, right? And my brother came on here and laid out some shit that was going on with him that just kind of threw his life into the whack zone. And we talked to Vince Tony, and we've talked to several people from the community, and they've all talked about the hotspot. Apparently, the owner of the hotspot is a very insulated individual. Now, I know politics make for strange bedfellows, so he has some affiliations with a lot of people in different places and whatnot. But it just seems like he's so protected because him along with several others, have been allowed to get away with egregious behavior in our communities for a very long time. So, my brother, let's talk about what you sent me today for the people. And I should be showing it, but out of respect for my brother, I'm gonna let him put the schisms on it. Talk about
Thank you. I appreciate that. So first I wanna this began 5.5 years ago. Okay. 5.5 years ago, I tried to get the store shut down, closed, along with other people in the community. Elder Green, Vince Tony, Miss Love, some people, right? Community members. The store stayed open. And I was framed, right? Come to find out, they came up with a plan. I walked into it being so aggressive, but they conspired to get rid of me by any means necessary, right? Any means. They tried to get me locked up. Then they tried to get me killed. And I was saying then that the paperwork I found, it was more than just receipts. The numbers didn't match up. I'm thinking it was just from the sale of illegal liquor, but they was dumping in the hood. They was selling, they weren't selling it then. They were trying to get into selling drugs out the store. And with me there, that wasn't gonna happen. So, they spread rumors about me snitching, said that they was paying my rent, all type of shit, man. Put a restraining order on me. I had to move out my house. I lost everything I had, and nobody believed me that I was telling the truth about this. They thought this was a personal vendetta when it was never personal. This was about saving who we say we want to save, us, right? So I got a video of them not just selling out the store, but they using a Quest card.
Okay.
The person is buying 3.5 grams of marijuana with a Quest card.
Damn.
Okay.
So, now hold on. And I got another video
killing them over there in the hood.
I got another video where they bring it to me and I bust it down right there on camera. The bag that it came in, showing what's inside. They can't deny it, right? I got the whole thing, and it's not about what happened to me 5 years ago, right? This is about how easily the justice system and people can be manipulated based off of somebody's history and the money that's available to be bought.
Okay, when we say bought, we're talking about our elected officials, and bought in the
Listen,
sense
I
that
can't. You know what?
they're
Honestly,
contributing to
man.
political campaigns.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, shit, man. I can't. What else can it be? You know what I mean? Now, yeah, some of it can be from, okay, well, you got this criminal past. I understand that shit. But we say that we don't hold our past against us. I wasn't out here in the street, rah, rah, rah. No, I was in the streets trying to really get some change made on behalf of us, for us. And you got this entity, this store, right? I've been over there 50 plus years, man, off and on, because I was in jail. 50, not 25, not 30, 50, man, right? And he can manipulate and lie and make false statements and walk away scot-free. And he been doing this shit. Listen, this happened October 26, 2017. A week later, he was at it. He was getting it in.
So let me ask you a question about the footage that I seen.
Yes,
Because
sir.
I didn't have sound on
There's
some
no
of it.
sound to it.
Okay, but on the first one, when you
Yep.
show what had actually come out the store,
Right.
and it was basically it was a bag of weed, right? Like,
Yeah.
so is there a way you can connect so that he could say that didn't come from my store? There's no
So in the next group of videos that I sent you, right? I sent you the person using the card, typing the number in, and receiving a brown paper bag.
okay.
That's the brown paper bag that I then, as he came out the store, he get in the vehicle, give me the bag, and I open it right then.
Okay.
Now, I also have the number of the card that was used to purchase this, so they can't deny it. And I know the exact amount. You know what I mean?
You can shut that motherfucker down.
Okay, he went out for a second. He went out. Let me catch up with the chat room when he come till he. Shout out to Mama Jenkins. She said, "I'm watching tonight. How you doing, my sister? How you doing?" Vince Tony, what up? He said, "What up, Outlaws?" Josh said, "The more shares, the better." I totally agree. Share the show. Share the show. She said, "Let's go, motherfuckers. This is patience." She said, "Motherfuckers about to scatter like roaches." Miss Mama Jenkins said she want to see your face. She said, "Get some damn light, Sean." Vince is saying in 2017, I witnessed Sean's aggression at the Hotspot liquor license renewal hearing. I think we all seen that. I mean, he was pounding. Yeah! I was like, whoa, what's wrong with this brother? I thought maybe it was something going on. And obviously it was. Patience Phillips said, keep your eyes on the road, Jai Monty. Jazz, what's going on? We got to get Jasmine Tyler on here. My sister, she said, good evening, fellas. What's going on, Jazz?
Peace.
What is going on? Also, interestingly enough, running for the first district, in which this is where the hotspot is located. So if you just tuning in, let me get y'all laced up. So we got my brother Sean Moore here. And if you've been following Outlaw Radio, you know we did a show called Public Enemy where he talked about how basically his crusade to get the hotspot removed from the community resulted in him being removed from the community because of the protection and the installation that the owner of the hotspot receives. Maybe it's political contributions. Maybe it's because he's part of whatever network is over there that distributes whatever, what have you. So what I saw today, what my brother sent me, and I asked him, do you want me to show it? And out of respect for you, I'm not going to show it. I saw what you got out the store. I saw the footage of the transaction happen. So
I didn't get it out the store. Somebody else got it out.
No, I know. I saw you.
Okay.
You know, I know.
Right.
So, but I saw the transaction when there was an individual in the store at the counter, and okay, so this whatever, and this is once again drugs exchanged for food stamps. All right, so we be damned, right? Like, because taxpayers pay for your food stamps. So I'll be damned if I'm buying somebody weed. I buy you, get you some food. I don't want to go half on your sack. I don't have 5 on it. But this is just an example. And you said this was 2017. Now, once you were removed, I would assume that business kept going as usual. So some 5 years later, imagine how much
2008,
money they made.
bro. Listen, 2018. Like I told y'all earlier, right? In one of the earlier shows, I was around here wearing wigs, dressing funny, and everything.
Because you was hiding. Pause. You wasn't
Yeah,
just wearing wigs.
no,
You was,
I was hiding. I was trying to free myself then because I knew wasn't nobody gonna believe what I was saying.
okay.
I knew it because I know me and I know my background. You know what I mean? They said I stole some money, some little money out of a cash register. I have been to jail for stealing money, but you can check my files, man. We went to jail for stealing over $1 million. I ain't never stole no 5, 6. Ain't cash register money can't do nothing for me.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So,
Okay.
but when you using fear to inoculate people around that lie, and then that happens, the police come and get somebody, and they say, "Oh, Sean Moore, blah blah blah." Of course, well, I just been fed the lie. I don't even know I've been fed the lie, but that's what they did to certain people. But when people heard the tape, right? That's the thing, right there, KB. The original audio of the witness that signed the false statement behind the false imprisonment, kidnapping, and armed robbery. When people heard that, they still took no action against this store.
Okay, and let me add this for context too. That is something that was presented on the previous show that we did, in which we had that video, which we did show, in which there was an individual who admits that he was coerced into saying certain things about Sean, and the police were applying pressure. There's the video footage of the owner saying, "I just want him to leave me alone, and if he just go ahead and leave me alone, I'm straight, I'm fine. I won't go down there. I won't go say nothing. I won't go say nothing on him." So that there's that. So this is a lot of footage all of a sudden that just kind of proves that there's something going on, be it with police officers who decided that Sean was a nuisance and wanted him removed from the community. And I know we even discussed on the show that this is a result of you kind of interfering on some overly Brody behavior by police officers, and that at that moment you put a target on your back. So back to the hotspot, and I shout out to Patience Phillips, because she says, "I still don't understand where the community is. Where was Sean's support? Where are the residents who want the store gone?" That's a very interesting question, in that now we're talking about 10, 15, I don't know how many years where this store has been allowed to do this, and the residents haven't been able to get it shut down. This is my question. Where is the support from the community? From your perspective, Sean, where's the support from the community?
The support was there, right? The support was there from the community. We had a lot of support. They just happened to have more influential support, I guess, because they had two pastors, one who I used to call my friend, and you got the leader of the Black Panthers per se, right? And you got a bunch of people that visit the store, buy out the store that you fucking with. The people in the community don't even go to the store. It's not safe enough. And then you had the alderman saying, "Hey, give them a chance," But they were so fucking cocky, right? They gave me full permission, man. They sat down with me and Mama Freeman and gave me and Mama full permission to be in that store whenever we wanted to monitor that store, because we was gonna report back to the common council. Okay. I'm watching these motherfuckers sell people liquor. And they looking at me smiling.
Okay.
So, yeah, like I said, bro, I took the paperwork. I did. But it wasn't, there was no financial gain in that paperwork. None. This was about the people who helped raise me in that fucking community. My kids live in that community. I lost people that I call my friends' sons, children in that community. And the shit, the centers from
Vince,
that
you got to
fucking
turn down your
store.
device.
I got it turned down.
Go ahead, Sean.
And it stems and centers from that fucking store.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when we had people from the community owning those stores up there, we didn't have that shit up there, man. Because they knew everybody. You know, you can't come in there and say, hey, I want to buy, some TVs or some guns or some this or some that, right? Because they not doing that shit. But with them, hey, yeah, we buying everything. So yeah, they gonna break in Miss Johnson's house if they got a habit. Because they gonna feed that fucking habit.
Okay.
That's why I wanted them gone. This was never personal. I personalized it because the people who gave a fuck about me, it was time for me to give a fuck about them.
Okay.
And I'm fucked up because nobody else gave a fuck about them.
All right.
That's
what's
why the
going
fuck
on.
I snapped in 2018, 17, whenever the fuck that
I'll wait for Sean.
That meeting was. Because I felt Elder Green. So yeah. What's that, Vince?
Not much. Kev, I just wanted to kind of chime in on Patient's question. I'm the lead for the Coalition for Hope Block Watch. In 2015, I think we talked about this the other night, our group, it was the first time that Shante Hamilton had come to our Block Watch meeting. And he came to our meeting with holding hands with the owners of the hotspot, asking them to give them a chance. Well, we've had people from Garden Association, which is ran by a white man, spying on our meeting. So evidently they took information back to the hotspot saying that we're going to be down at the county council to advocate against them getting their liquor license renewed. They came to the meeting, and of course, all of the members are elders. And Sean mentioned Elder Green. Miss Elder Green is a member of our Block Watch. So we decided not to go down there. We voted, and the elders said, well, let's give them a chance. 26 doesn't happen, but I'll go to 2017. 2017, we were in court, and most of our Block Watch members on the other side of the fence or the table, whatever you want to talk about at the liquor license hearing, is two pastors that are advocating for this dude to keep his liquor license. And it's us on the other side. Ms. Elder Green gave the most compelling testimony that you ever want to hear. And I'm going to look through my archives. I'm going to find the video. She gave the most compelling, and she was crying. She was in tears, virtual tears. Shantia Lewis said, not only does this community, this store need to lose their liquor license, they need to shut down for a year to give this community a chance to breathe. Alderman Zelensky talked to the Pastor Campbell. He said, Pastor, why would you want to have this building in the community? Pastor Campbell said, we don't want another empty building in the community. Alderman Zelensky told Campbell, he said, hey, I'd rather have an empty building than what you have over there.
Okay.
So I'm going to leave it at that. Let Sean get back on. I just wanted to clarify for patients that the community is involved, and we have been involved. That's all I want to say is that we see what's going on, and people in I can tell you some more things about what happened to Miss Elder Green that broke her spirit. It broke her spirit down to the bone, and she told me, she said, Vince, I don't know why you do what you do, because they're going to do what they want to do anyway.
Okay.
And I'll let you go with that.
Okay. How you doing, Miss Pierre? I don't want to mess her name up. Is it Iona? I don't know. I'm bad with it. She said, hello, Kevin. Hello, Sean. Just letting you know I'm tuned in. I appreciate it. Share the show.
How you doing?
Deborah, Mama Jenkins, she said, why is it that our leadership is allowing this keep happening in our hood? This is not the only damn store that this shit is happening. Most of these damn gas stations and corner stores are dope dens and pimps. Some of the leaders on the council voted to shut it down, but nothing has happened to this day. Patient said, so long story. So long story short, the community gave them the chance. Well, if okay, so here we go. Now I have to pick up with Patience because I hear her. She's saying that ultimately the aldermen and whatnot said, okay, let's give him a chance to clean it up. And where I come into the know of this is at that time through my affiliation with the Black Panthers, it became one of our hot points because we had different parts of the city in which we were working on initiatives. So we would often ride, myself and leader, and he would say, well, let's go here and check this, and let's go here and check that. So what we were told as a group was this store is supposed to clean up their act. There's not supposed to be anybody out front. There's supposed to be no drug dealing, all the things that the community had said, or he had told the community he would do. We would go through there, nobody would be outside. They would go in the store, they would say everything looks clear. We go on to the next point. And as a return for that, he then said, okay, he's done what we asked him to do. So I guess in essence, he did endorse him to get his license renewed. That's what pissed Sean off, and that's what.
Let me tell you why.
Rolling.
Let me tell everybody why though.
Okay.
Because it's more to it than that. Before he started dealing with the hot spot, right? I was already going after the hot spot, and Rick, who I know from the neighborhood, he used to run with my aunties, right? They didn't run with him; he ran with them. Let's get that straight. So him and the preacher brother came over, and we talked about the hot spot. When we were meeting in the church, we were talking about the hot spot, right? And I told him I'm into it with him. I'm about to go over there. So it was a bunch of y'all though. You wasn't there. And when I went over there, he was filming it. I wasn't filming it. He was. And I checked him then. And then he said, yeah, and we're the Black Panthers, all that. Next thing I know, he supposedly trying to work with him. Hold on, bro. That wasn't the fucking plan. The plan is I want their ass shut down. The community wants them shut down. They're getting shut down. Ain't no, we're going to work with them. No, fuck working with them.
Right. I hear you.
You know what I mean? I was in the store now. I did have and agree with them, right? That they would stop selling liquor though. No beer, right? No tobacco products, that they would transform that store into a real mini grocery store. If they did that, they could keep their fucking license, right? They wouldn't need a liquor license, but you wouldn't lose the motherfucker either.
Okay.
You can take that shit out to Franklin where you stay. I don't give a fuck. Just not on 27th and Atkinson, partner.
Okay.
But
and
no,
I don't.
So.
I want to make sure I'm not putting Brother Rick on the grills either, because he's not here to defend himself, and we won't do that just for the sake of integrity. He's not here.
Hold on. I will send you the video. I will send you the video of the Common Council meeting when I turned and asked him how much did it cost.
I seen it. I've seen it before.
How much does he cost?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Remember, I seen all the videos. I was
right.
I wasn't there the day y'all went over there, but I was in the loop very closely. So I've seen all the videos in the back and forth. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to
get him on the phone.
If I could, I would. That ain't gonna
happen. Because I said to him,
that's not gonna happen. Yeah. That's not gonna happen. Somebody will send him the show and say they was talking about you, and then it is what it is. But once again, I just want to have a integrity and fairness. I don't
listen. I don't want nobody to think I hate Rick. I do not hate Rick. I grew up with Rick, man. I just didn't approve of how Rick turned his back on the same community that helped raise his ass too.
and he wasn't the only one who.
No, he was
your
not.
boy, yeah, your boy
No,
was.
he
It was
was
a lot of
not.
people.
Rodney Campbell too.
Yeah. So
You know, listen, I have no problem, and I'm not throwing this out there to hurt them, right? I was always taught the only way you gonna know that you got some roaches is if you turn the light on.
right, no doubt.
Okay. And you know, some people like living with roaches, but you got that option of if you want that roach or not in your house, knowing that roach is gonna breed other roaches.
Right, you should have the option. You should
Right.
have the option.
And yeah, man, you know, shit. I don't expose shit to hurt people. I expose stuff so that people don't do it again.
Right. No, I hear what you're
You know?
saying. I just for clarity purposes because we have to have journalistic integrity. So and
I
fair
understand.
exchange ain't no robbery. So I do
Get it?
appreciate patience correcting me. Ilona, I will never forget that now. Ilona Peer, my sister. Thank you for tuning in. I didn't want to mess your name up. So
Well, you
Ilona
did.
Peer. Ilona Peer. He said, "Yeah, you did." That thrills me, right? Like I ain't that freaky.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Vince says Patience, the Coalition for Hope Block Watch was at the liquor license hearing Sean mentioned. Miss Green, she is a member of
but
Block Watch.
patience ain't talking about the meeting. Patience is talking about after I sent everybody the recording, because I sent it to everybody except for Jesus. And most of the responses were, "That's fucked up," or "Damn, what you gonna do?" Well, shit, if I knew what I could do, I wouldn't be coming to you. You know what I mean? As a leader in this community, we should be able to sit down. You know, I'm coming to you looking for some advice, right? Some type of, obviously I don't know this. Shit, this is one of my weaknesses. Help strengthen me. I may get at you, but I'll be trying to strengthen you too. This ain't about me or you. This is about the community. If they did it to me, how many other people have they done it to?
Right. Okay.
How many other people will they do it to? Listen, man, I was kidnapping, armed robbery, and false imprisonment. That's at least minimum 85 years. I was 50, going on 50 at the time, right? That didn't work. You know, I'm working, man. I'm walking through the zoo, right? And these brothers trusting me and the ambassadors. I'm walking all over Atkinson, right? They trust me. I can go to any hood. They trusting me. But now you didn't spread the lie that I'm snitching.
Okay, so that's where I want to go. That's where I want to go. Hold on. So let's stop right there, because by this video coming out, because first of all, I want to know where this video will go, because I think it's very, very important that people see this video. What is your plan? What do you plan to do with this footage?
Tomorrow morning, I plan on turning it over to the media, I believe. And I'm gonna send everybody a letter afterwards, sharing what happened 5 years ago and that video, because they got to answer the questions, not me.
Okay.
I shouldn't have to answer no more questions. I think I've answered all the questions with the proof that just you have seen, right? With what you've seen, everything I said 5.5 years ago is valid, and I didn't make that. I didn't work to make that happen over 5.5 years. That cost me everything I fucking had to prove my motherfucking innocence. You know, everybody was saying, "Hey, it's just some time. It's just some time." You know, I didn't did time for some shit I didn't do before. and it took 37 years for the fucking truth to come out. I know about justice and I know about injustice. And I know that sometimes it ain't just us. This time, yeah, man, us had a lot to do with it though. Us could have did something.
Okay, so now when this footage, if the media decides, okay, we're going to look at this because if they say, okay, this is 5 years ago, and even if there was fraud there, the statute of limitations is not up on it. So if there's at least an investigation
No,
into
hold
some
on.
of the transactions
Oh,
made
no.
in their EBT.
Let me correct you, bro. The video is from a few days ago.
Oh, see, okay, there we
That's
go.
from a few days ago.
Okay,
I got the first piece of evidence in 2018. I told people that the man was trying to set me up in 2017.
Okay. So this footage is new. It's hot off the presses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Everything that everything you receive, I got that a couple days before.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you, man. And I am spiritual, right? I told God though, like, I'm fucking tired. I'm really fucking tired. And if you ain't gonna do nothing about it, I'm gonna do something about it. And man, stuff just got to coming to me.
Okay.
I didn't ask nobody for nothing.
So
people are tired.
How can this video serve to exonerate you? Because your case is different. Like, your case was not with the hotspot, or did you get charges from what happened with you in the hotspot?
Every charge I got came from the hotspot.
Okay.
Every charge.
Okay.
Every charge. The initial charge, right? They got the witness, the dude on the audio he was in the hotspot when he was arrested. He was in the hotspot when the owner told him, hey, they gonna start arresting more people, shine more down there, telling on y'all. And he says, telling on who for what? We ain't did nothing. I ain't did nothing, right? And he told him, they're gonna arrest y'all. They're gonna start, and boom, next thing you know, he get arrested. They don't go down there and question him about nothing. They just say, he had a gun, didn't he? You heard it. Everybody heard it. Everybody heard it. I sent it to everybody, bro. I'm telling you, I sent it to everybody that's in leadership, man. That was in leadership at that time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. let me catch the chat room up. Vince says, in 2018, I was alone at the hotspot liquor license hearing. Alderman Hamilton told the uncommon council members that I had a personal vendetta against him, against the owner. And Josh says, speak your truth about the store. Mama Jenkins says, this place has a fucking history of shootings, prostitution, drug dealing, and beating people's asses, along with food stamp fraud. Vince says, damn, Sean, you should have sent the tape to Jesus too. I think he's joking. I hope he's joking. Be playing with Jesus. Don't be playing with Jesus. Ace says, hey, Kev, this is a long shot.
Can somebody get him on the main line?
Right. Oh my God. That was man. Come on. Ace says, hey, Kev, this is a long shot, but y'all might want to run this past Dr. Rashard Ritchie from the Young Turks. This brother is known for exposing corruption and getting results. He's an attorney that prides himself on taking corrupt law enforcement down and putting things like this in the public eye. This needs to get the media exposure. And I think that's what Sean is saying he's about to put into place. So I do appreciate you sending it to me and allowing Outlaw Radio to put our eyes on it, or at least me to put mine on there first.
So I'm not trying to be greedy or nothing. But I'm shit. I don't even remember his name just like that. Yeah. I
You
need
talking
some
about the
contact
owner?
information. I need that man's name again because I
Oh,
don't
I'll get it
remember
to
that.
you. I'll get it to you. I'll get it to you, Sean. Don't worry
I
about
ain't got no memory of nothing no more, man. I'm telling you, this shit almost broke me, bro. I mean,
it. Okay.
spiritually, right? Mentally, physically. Um, you know, bro, I honestly, I understand what it feels like to 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 be, innocent, but everybody think that you guilty, right? Not just the system, but nobody believes you, right? And the shit, we look at people, because I don't want this show to just focus on that, because the result of, well, some of the parts of that I'm still dealing with, that affected my whole being. You know what I mean? It had me questioning the will to even push on anymore, bro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This shit. So just imagine, and people got mad at the young dude who signed the paperwork, right? But I thought about him too, man. You know what I mean? He younger than me. He ain't started living yet, right? But you gonna take away his life. He would have been innocent. And all he had to do was sign his name. I'm not mad that he did that. I got a lot of love for the little brother, right? But we need to really take a look at this so-called system, right? We know that the system works perfectly, so we got to disrupt that motherfucker.
Okay. Let's see. Josh says the hotspot has played Puppet Master and cost his brother years of peace. Ernest says, Ernest Walker, shout out to Ewok. He says, have you sent anything to a news station? They want a story no matter what. He says he's in the process of doing that, Ewok. That was the whole, that's what he's in the process of doing. Vince is laughing at the Jesus, Kamar's Jesus comment. He said, hang in there, Sean. Patience says, don't say nobody believes you because you got a team.
I got Jesus on the
I feel kind of offended by that. I feel like that's
Why, man? I said I got it.
That's a slap at my Christianity, right? Like I feel like you Bible banging on me, right?
Hey, you take shots at the conscious folks all the time.
I do, and I'm probably gonna take a few tonight, especially when we start talking about Kwanzaa. Light that ass up.
And I ain't even taking a shot. I'm just making a joke, man. You just feel
don't play with Jesus now. Don't you play. Tell him, Rail. I ain't the only one. Tell him, Rail.
Pastors do it all the time.
Right, Rail, get your man. Get your man.
Rail
how I feel about it.
One too. Rail got a good one too. He just ain't saying.
He had a little song with his little clap talking about Jesus is on the main line. Oh man, I grew up off that song. But Sean,
yes, me too.
So first of all, let me say this. If anybody has any questions for this brother Sean Moore, the number's 262-202-5131. The chat room's popping. Share the show. What we are uncovering here is my brother, and I made the mistake of assuming that this footage was old, but this is footage that just happened where somebody was able to go into the hotspot and purchase a bag of weed for their food stamps. Now, this is the question that I want to ask next. In the hood, if I'm on the block, right, and this is where I get my weed at, this is where I get my liquor, this is where I get my work off at, and you come through and you do what you do, doesn't that keep people from saying, doesn't that keep people saying, well, dude is snitch, he told, now they're gonna shut the weed spot down because dude done went on the news and told on the spot, like that was my plug.
So
what do you
check
say
this,
to people who would say
man,
that?
Listen, you know what? I had this conversation a couple times, and 7 people. That's so. Let's say, yeah. The majority, 7 out of 8, told me, man, fuck that shit. You know, you done lost everything. You ain't never did nothing but help people. Maybe you can get some help now. Think about your kids. Do what's best for you. Fuck that street shit. I'm gonna be Sean Mo to the day I die, man. You know what I mean? A motherfucker can question whatever they want to question, but you can't question my integrity, right? Yeah, I could have went to jail. I could have got out, and I could have made them give me anything I wanted, right? That ain't what I signed up for, though.
So
that ain't what I do it for.
And they don't even know at this point. The proprietors of the hotspot don't even know that this footage, that you have this footage, correct?
As far as I know, nah.
Okay. So this could
care if they
really.
did.
No, I'm
they
saying
probably
that.
do
I'm
now.
saying that. I asked that question
they might
because
now.
I asked that question because a lot of times what happens is when they find out that it exists, they may try to insulate themselves by going to get lawyers or whatever, already setting up, collaborating their story.
They can get anything they want to get, right? The numbers are in the system already.
Okay.
Remember, I told you a long time ago, man, I'm a numbers dude. Follow the fucking numbers, right?
Okay.
I know exactly what it cost, what was charged on that card, and the date.
And the date.
Yeah, and there's something that I can't reveal right now. I won't reveal just in case they try to say that it wasn't, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a crazy story, and it resonated with a lot of people because a lot of people watched that show, that Public Enemy show, where you were talking about what you had gone through. And I know for a fact, I can say this without a shadow of a doubt, I have heard from several people who are quote unquote community based about Sean Moore. Say, man, did you know this? Sean was doing this, Sean was doing that, and you know what Sean did, and so you can even a couple years ago when you and I first started to speak, I asked you all of this stuff and I told you all this stuff, and you broke all of it down to me like, yeah, I already know that's what they saying, but here's the real deal. So I know they're gonna try to go on that. Oh, you know what he did? You know what he did? So you just said they can't question your integrity. So you're not running from the fact that they got all these narratives out here about you, correct?
No. You know, let's put up their resume and mine. Not about what you built or what you came up with or no ideas. Let's talk about the work. You know what I mean? I don't just talk about doing shit. And after I do it, I don't really talk about it then. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of motherfuckers around here that got organizations in the last 6-7 years off the work me and Khalil did.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then I didn't do a lot of talking. Then. I was doing the fucking work.
The work. I mean, there's so many people in our community who claim they're doing work.
Like I tell people, fuck the numbers. Show me the results. Numbers, they can be manipulated. Right? When it comes to the work that we do. But the results last a lifetime.
Okay. I want to make sure people have clarity on this, and I want to make sure people understand that you heard this here first on Outlaw Radio, because I got a hankering, I got a feeling that once the news gets a hold to this footage, the news cycle will start to spin. And because this has been such a controversial spot for so long, and such a prominent issue in our community. So I don't know if you realize, you got a bottle of gasoline in your hands that could potentially blow some people out the water.
You know, man, that's another thing that I spoke about. I got a big family. You know what I mean? I got a lot of brothers, and I ain't on no bullshit. You know what I mean? My suggestion to everybody is let nature take its course, right? I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm not. Just like I said almost 10 years ago in that church, when my nephew was being buried and all them young cats was sitting out there. I had 1,000 people at that funeral, man. And I told every one of them, I said, listen, man, if y'all want to live, if y'all want to do something, I'm going to fuck with y'all. And we going to get this shit right.
Okay.
That's all the fuck I care about, KB.
Okay. Once again, and I keep, because I know brothers like yourself and other brothers who I've been around for a very long time have lived by the street code of it doesn't matter what, you don't divulge information, no matter
What I tell you last show, I said, dog, I know that I can never go back to doing that work, because even though it's the right thing, it's the wrong thing where we come from.
Right.
You know what I mean? But ain't nobody living my life, bro.
Right.
Ain't nobody lost what I've lost.
Very true. Very true.
This ain't just on me, man. I got 6 sons. 6 sons who have sacrificed with me, that had a lifestyle that was accustomed to a certain lifestyle, because me and mama struggled. We hustled to provide that shit, right? That was snatched away too. This ain't just about me. I had people I was mentoring, man. I can't communicate with bro. I don't know what happened. I made promises to people, KB. I gave my word to people, man. People don't understand. Me going to jail is basically saying to them people that I gave my word, that my word ain't shit, because I did that shit.
Okay.
I ain't got shit else, KB.
No, I hear you. I understand. I totally understand. And you've made a very good point of basically saying what it is. Like, I mean, like you say, you've lost so much. I want people to know, my brother, if you're just tuning in, my brother's sitting here and he got his hands on some footage that proves whatever accusations have been levied towards this store in the community. And here's the point. Now, Ernest said, I wonder if Lena's watching. Shout out to Lena. Shout out to Senator Lena Taylor, who's running for judge. Shout out to her. What you just sent me today proves that everybody who is supporting them, whether it be an alderman, whether it be another leader in the community, a preacher or a pastor, they were all false. They were all flawed. And they were all fraud. They are complicit because you have been supporting this store and this brother's been victimized. And now it's proven that they are doing exactly what he said they were doing.
So
now it's footage.
Let me interject, because Kamar say all the time. So now what?
Okay.
Right. Where do we go now? Right. How do we repair that? What you say, Kamar? Is Kamar asleep? Shit.
Nah, my bad. I was on mute. My bad.
Oh shit.
No, I was saying you right. You know what I mean? We identify the problem, man, and then we gotta bust our brains on how to fix it, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Earlier we was talking before the show came on, and we said, sometimes you gotta call shit out. Yeah, you gotta call it out so we can identify the problem. It's just like a sickness in the body, man. We could call out cancer all day, but if we don't put no work behind it, if we don't figure out what to do next, that shit gonna stick around. The same problem gonna be there. You know what I mean? So the thing is, what to do next? You know what I'm saying? We gotta bust our brains to figure out how to fix this shit on what's next. One step at a time.
So the question is, right? Because everybody know I'm on the run. But like I told everybody when I first went on the run, I'm totally innocent. I did not do it. I'm gonna prove it, right? So now, was I running from justice or injustice?
Good question.
And if I was running from injustice, what we gonna do about it?
Very good question. Like how you put that. Josh says there's no more street code. They tell on themselves every day on social media. Nikki Bird says facts. That's very true.
Yeah.
Mama Jenkins says plus is open to new leadership. When are the rest of the people that want that seat other than Vince meeting to discuss that area's problems? Vince has been working on trying to get people together. And I think once again, what happens here is people look at this as like something competitive. And in a sense, it is competitive. But it's also, I hear Sean saying it's bigger than me. It's bigger than, just one individual. This is about a community that's being held hostage by a group of people who ain't even from the community, who, like you said, live outside and take the money that they make, be it weed money, pill money, syrup money, is the lean, whatever they call it, and they go to the suburbs with it and they raise their families, and they don't give a shit that it affects us and not them. Mama Jenkins says, we already got that. Now, so you said what's next, Sean?
Yeah.
And this is what I want to get to. What's next? What would you like to see happen from here on, moving forward? What you want to happen because of this?
Listen, man, only one person can make the call, right? And that's the district attorney, right? He has the power to go into any judge's chamber and say, listen, we made a mistake. This needs to be removed, right? However, the people that believe that store over the community, I don't want no apology. I don't want no money. I don't want none of this shit. Do right by them, right? That's my family over there. You know what I mean? That's my family, and my family need me over there. And I need to be with my family over there. Can't nobody else do nothing over there. Now, everybody know what I was gonna do over there. Them young cats knew I was gonna shut that store down. And they was cool with that because I told them I was gonna bring jobs in to replace that store. Y'all ain't gotta be on the fucking corners. The money that we got that first year, bro, they saw that it was possible. I hired them cats off the corners and they stopped hustling. And Ashanti pulled that fucking money. Stopped that program for some other bullshit. And like I told him, you not hurt me, you hurt my community, nigga.
Okay.
And yeah, people think I took it personal. I didn't. I just personalized it. There's a fucking difference. All these so-called educated motherfuckers, right? There's a difference. And I tell them I personalized it out of what I owe to them. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them, that community.
Okay.
Hey, I want to go back. I want to go back a little bit to where we was talking about who got the power, right? Chopper said the district attorney, and see, like the average person don't have a way to get to the district attorney to talk to him. And see, remember the other night when we had Lena was in the chat room, and I was saying, I was talking about, and I said, look, okay, we may not know the right way, we may not have the influence, but if you one of our leaders, you could speak up. Maybe she could go pull up in the district attorney office and maybe try to get some influence. You see what I'm put some influence in there. You see what I'm saying? Like, our leaders got to be our leaders. I don't give a fuck what district you from.
Well, I mean, shit, she stay on Capitol.
And you know what I mean? But then we also see she put her paper in there to get signatures.
Yeah, she needs to pull that out of there.
Like she really should be there talking to them. People are figuring something out, how to fix this problem, especially if you from this neighborhood. But like I said, I'm getting too far off my point. My point was, you know what I mean, our leaders, we need to be able to have our leaders go put some influence in them offices.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I think there has to be a connection. I think if you are a leader and you can help an individual, it's cool for you to say, that's not really my thing, but I can pass you along to someone who can help you. But once again, she's not here to defend herself, and I don't even know she's watching.
No, I ain't saying she did nothing wrong. I'm just saying, like, this is,
I know.
I'm just saying this
not
is
an attack. This is not an attack. He just used her as a reference.
I get it. I'm just keeping my integrity intact. That's all.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. I ain't attacking her at all. And the only reason I mentioned her name because I talked about that night.
Well, you're not the only one though, Kamar, because Ernest Walker just asked about her, and Josh says after this footage is released, I wonder if Lena will continue asking for signatures in that store. Why is her name coming up? Because she does live in this district, right? And so this is why. So if people say, why are they picking on her? This is why. Haitian said Ashanti did an interview saying he was going to bring the Safe Songs back for a second year because of its success. Vince says, Kamar, great point about Lena. So you're not the only one, Kamar, who's,
Well, you know what I mean? And I ain't just speaking about Lena. I'm talking about all them motherfuckers down there.
Right. And that's why I included, and even if in hindsight it's 2020, looking back now, even the leader of the Panthers, whatever pastors, whoever should look at this footage and say, you know what, Sean, our bad, man. We should have been listening to you. We should have rocked with you. You know, we should have shut them down. Because they played you all too. They played those people too. You feel me?
Yeah. They did. And remember my earlier statement about how they manipulated the justice system and the people that tagged along. You know, bro, that's why I said this wasn't no, guess what I came up with? Let's do this. No, they thought this shit out, right? And they had help thinking this shit out, man. You know, it wasn't no one person. You know, the security guard in the motherfucker. Man, it's, you know, shit. They came up with a way. And they used people's anger towards me, right? And my past history, man. You know, all you got to do is give a person a reason. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's human nature for some people. I understand it. I don't take it personal. I don't.
Okay.
You'll know when I take it personal. And I ain't took it personal with nobody in the community. Nobody.
Here, the bigger picture, because like we say, go from micro to macro. Here's the bigger picture. Imagine how many of these stores in our community are complicit with the dysfunction that's going on. This is not the only store.
Come on, KB. Come on, KB. Right. KB. At the same time I was at the hot spot, I was at other stores. I would listen, man. I wasn't just in Garden Homes. I was up in Amani too, right? I was all up on Garfield, right? Bro, we was, even though we were getting paid to be at the Dominican Center, we had people in Wauwatosa, bro. I had young cats in Wauwatosa.
Okay.
See, they don't talk about, they don't want people to know about that type of shit.
Right. They don't.
You know what I mean? Because that other narrative sounds better. You know what I mean? It feeds the bullshit. Now, every perception that I had, I can run with it. because it's shit. They just prove that he's a fucking thief and a liar. So everything else that I've ever heard or thought about, shit, it's gonna be true. That's just, bro. That's just human. You know, that's just the psyche, bro. That's just what we do sometimes. You know, if you don't know you, it's easy for somebody else to fool you.
Okay. I think it comes down to this too, to be honest. All right. And Mama Jenkins says, I said that they're dope dealers and pimps. You did say that, but I think people have to understand that in order for certain things to happen in a community, there has to be other things happening. So in order for a certain amount of drugs and whatnot to be moved through a community, there has to be different kind of depots, right? And so there has to be a higher level of organization. Is way more complicated than just a bunch of young brothers being able to go and slang freely. Like that stuff has to come from somewhere. It's a process. But I'm saying right now would be a great time, and I hope, because Kamar said, "What we gonna do?" So I want to throw my "what we gonna do" in there. Let's regulate these stores in the communities. Hard body karate. Let's regulate the shit out of them. Let's go into all of them. Let's investigate what the food stamp money is being utilized for. Let's look at what they're actually selling in the community. Let's talk to the people in the community and say what's going on in that store. Because the people who live there will say, I can tell you what's going on in that motherfucker. So and so and so and so and so and so. But we look at it like snitches get stitches. We look at it because the reality is in Milwaukee, how many of the residents actually care? Because a lot of people in those communities would be like, man, them Arabs cool, man. I buy weed from them all the time. Them my guys.
Until something happened to one of their loved ones.
Exactly.
Then it's, hey, can somebody help, right? But you got a bunch of people that want to do something about this shit. Let them do that shit. I ain't talking about me. You got some people, man, that can really engage these people that's doing some of this bullshit. And if you got, listen, man, I took young men and women that had adapted to hustling, right? Was good at it. And I gave them $15 an hour. And they stopped serving. Y'all talking about y'all got jobs for $20, $22. Okay. For most of these cats, man, you got to prove that you really want them. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. They may be dirty. Urine may be dirty. Give them a chance to get clean, though. Give them that opportunity, and then tell them, hey, you got 60 days to get clean. There's so much shit we can do to save these young cats, man, but we got so many egos and so much bullshit involved that, we look at the messenger and not the fucking message, right? In this case, y'all ran with the fucking message without looking at the fucking messenger, and the messenger been sending out bogus ass letters since he been in the fucking community. The man was the man that Vince Tony talking about, the white dude Joe Bova, had got the man elected to the chairperson of the safety committee, bro.
The owner of the store.
Yes, that's how he built such a tight relationship with 5th District. He was the fucking chairperson of the safety committee.
Damn, don't that make it all that more strange that we now have footage of what's going on in the store? Like, how many people need to be smacked upside their goddamn head? I'm just saying. Patience says, I can't wait till you shake the motherfucking room up with this. Vince said, I've attempted to contact the 10 individuals running for district number 1 alderperson about creating a community to keep the next alderperson responsive to the constituents' needs. I've only received one response. I've lived in this district since 1992. I'm a constituent who they want committed to this simple suggestion. I don't know if I read that wrong.
Check this out, Vince, and no disrespect, bro. I reached out too. I put a blanket statement out there. If you're running in the 1st district, I would like to speak to you, right? I've been over there 51 years. 51 years. and only a couple have reached out to me. And you can think I don't know nobody over there, but I know everybody from shit. What, KB, 13th to about 30?
Shit, a long way.
Capital to Silver
A
Spring.
long way.
Yeah,
I
so
I
I can
grew up
fuck
over
with your
there.
numbers. I can fuck with your numbers. Think that I can't. You need to talk to the people. You need to talk to the people. Y'all already working in silos, starting out the fucking gate. That's a bad fucking look when you only got two people that'll sit down, and both of them are no. Vince ain't no politician. Jazzy ain't no politician. You know what I mean? But they won't
They'll
change.
do better than these politicians.
And they the ones willing to sit down with the other group.
That's
That
what it's
don't make
gonna
no
take.
sense.
That's what it take, though. You know what I mean? If you want people that's real, you know what I mean, down
Yeah.
there, you gotta be willing to sit down and talk. Because everybody should be wanting the same thing. Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it shouldn't be a problem with sitting down and let's figure out what we gonna do next. Because again, this is how we all gonna keep our job.
And I ain't looking for no sympathy, right? And I ain't trying to help nobody campaign. If you win, you win. I'm trying to concentrate on my sons right now. But if justice ain't a part of nobody campaign right now,
And you mean justice, the justice system reform?
Yes, man, justice. Period. And the injustices that the people that you say that you want to represent are facing every fucking day.
Okay.
I vote. I get people to vote. That should mean something.
It should
That should really mean something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, if Billy Ray Cyrus come knocking on my door and he say, "Hey, we want you to vote like this," and I vote like that, guess what's gonna happen then? They gonna make the calls for me and all that shit, right? Guess what's gonna happen then? Then they gonna say I turn my back on my community. Damned if you do, man. Y'all got the opportunity to go down there, right, and not only change City Hall, but y'all can change how y'all can give us an identity, right? Y'all can go down there where, look, we coming in here, we ain't on no bullshit, but we're not working with y'all. Y'all gonna work with the people, right? And these other communities around us and surrounding us, once they see the strength that we show in unity, right? Because we gonna support y'all. If y'all about change, man, y'all gonna get support that y'all cannot imagine, right? Y'all gonna get that support, and y'all gonna push all that old shit out because that old shit is not working. It's not. That shit is done. Right, we need new ideas, new direction, and we need people who got some heart to go in there and say, you know what? I don't give a fuck if it take me 5.5 years. I'm gonna unveil this shit. I'm gonna fix this shit.
Okay. Patience says also hold them accountable for everything. We allow nasty, stanky, and disrespectful to become the norm to our children, and and the children won't question. They'll just accept that this is their value. You'll never see a nasty ass gas station in New Berlin. You're right. You're right. She says hold them to code, have regular inspections, find them and make them clean outside their establishment, audit them. The same things that you would do if it was one of us owning one of those gas stations. Mama Jenkins says Sean was the ambassador of the streets, whether it was monitoring stores, these schools, funerals, and people's homes. Dre Day, what up, man? What up, Dre Day? He said, Outlaw, check in. What up with you, my brother? Welcome to the show. I know I called the show to re-up, and we were supposed to kind of mix and match with some with some current events, but the brother hit me with some very pertinent information before the show. So I felt like, okay, we can always we ain't got nothing but time, right? So we can always do that. Because this is something that's very serious, because this exposes a lot of people, and it also lets us know what we have known for a very long time, that these individuals who were sitting downtown on the Common Council, we've said this before. Sometimes your silence indicates your complicitness, right? And for a very long time, you really heard no forward leadership coming from downtown. Y'all check this out. During the pandemic, and I don't know if other platforms said this, but I know we said it many times on Outlaw Radio. Everybody who's in any position of leadership had something to say in regards to COVID, except for the Common Council. When they did come out and say something, they came out in supporting Mayor Barrett on saying, if we catch you outside, we're going to give at a certain time, and if it's too many of y'all, I believe it was more than 5, we're going to give you a $500 ticket. How many times have we seen this violence in our community go on and on and on? They show up at a vigil. They go on the news when the news camera's there, but they're not doing any of the real work that it would take to alleviate these problems. So we knew that we had a very weak Common Council, but this shows that not only were they weak, they were involved. Somebody got an envelope somewhere. If an organization or place is selling a multitude of drugs out of that location, and you come in there, I mean, even if they gave it in form of a campaign contribution, it's still dirty money. It's still blood money. And so, like, now I'm looking at this committee that Vince wants to establish and saying there's really some validity to it. There's a real need for that for us as citizens. And we call them, what they're called is political action committees. This is what they're called. And you can form a political action committee any way you want to, anyhow you want to. And all that really is the people holding those people, the people in the community, holding those elected officials responsible for what they need to be doing, holding them accountable. Somebody, Jesse Paris is agreeing with Kamar. Patience says Sean like a little hood Elijah Muhammad. Okay. That's some Muslims get mad about that. Like, hold on, brother, don't be saying that.
See, and hold on, let's talk about that, because people thought that I was attacking them brothers. No, I got a lot of brothers in there, man, that I look up to, right, for how they have changed their lives. And I respect them brothers, man. Show them brothers a lot of love. My thing was that they also was easily manipulated, right? Yet I'm a black man. I want the same thing you want. I may not pray to the same God, well, by the same name, but yeah, I pray to God too, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm about my people. Yet y'all took the word of this foreigner.
This hurts a little bit.
No, it don't.
It hurts me. It hurts me because
it hurts so much that you want to go in your closet and pull your suit out.
No, it hurts me that we are still this far behind as a community, especially the first district, because I grew up in the first district. We didn't leave. I think I was 37, 38, maybe even 39 years old by the time I actually left the first district. My parents bought a house over there in 1970. I didn't move until 2012. So that district is near and dear to my heart. And any activism I did engage in, I made sure that I went back to that area first. They got whatever I was working on first. So, and it's a very prominent district in terms of black homeowners, in terms of black voters. It's a very prominent district. So like, and I think that this kind of adds more weight to how disappointed I am that nobody took the time to even go and check and say, well, let me see what Sean talking about. Let me see because the people who I talk to in the know, and we've had this discussion, Sean, the people who I talked to in the know had told me a certain thing. Oh, well, Sean, da 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 da. And I'm like, word? For real? Oh shit. And I'm glad that you and I actually got a chance to converse once we realized who we were. You feel me? Once we realized who we were, it was like, okay, let's put it on the table and we see what stands. And it's a shame that all of these people, and most of them are gone now because they're no longer in office. But we don't want a repeat of what just happened to anybody. So
Right.
I think that this is something that people need to pay attention to. Vince said, let's not forget that during the 2020 election, they reduced polling sites from 120 to 5. Yes, they did. Patience said they'll be all right. I think because I was saying I was taking a shot. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Jesse. Political action committees. He said most politicians have PACs funding their campaigns or contributing to their campaigns, so follow the money and hit them where it hurts. Well, I'm talking about starting one that does what it's supposed to do. Because if we do have a contribution for you, we're gonna hold your feet to the fire on what you promised the community, or
You
you won't get
know,
this bread. What we say, Kamar? Hire your ass, fire your ass.
Fire your ass.
check this out. Check this out. Right around this time, we started the Office of Assistance and Accountability, right? And doing all this shit, you know, when I first spoke about this, I spoke with Khalif about it too. Next thing I know, here comes the Office on African American Affairs. Yet they haven't done shit. So what
Nothing.
African American affairs, you know, are y'all taking care of? You know what I
Nothing.
mean,
Nothing.
this is what he said he was gonna do. This is why me, my brother, and Lamar Woods stopped doing that office. Because this type of shit was needed, and that brother said that office was going to take care of that.
I'll tell you
Yeah,
something else.
yeah,
About
he voted for their license in 2018. I heard for them to keep their license.
I tell you
So I
something
don't.
else about the Office of African American Affairs too. The county Office of African American Affairs. If you go and check, there's a little law on the books called there's a little initiative on their books called the Community Restoration Centers, in which underutilized park pavilions in underserved neighborhoods would be used to become social service hubs, so that people wouldn't have to go all the way here or there to get help when they needed it. It was right there. And that was written by yours truly. And it was passed by the county Office of African American Affairs. They gave it to them and they never moved on it because they kept saying, we don't got the money. But it's there. It's still sitting there. I can pull the paper up, the referendum. I can show it all to you. I'm the one who came up with it. So, and I started in Lincoln Park, right there in the first district. So,
Bro, we had the funding for the houses. We had the funding out of state, right? Some of our family, we had the funding, and we was gonna put up resource houses all through the community where people could go and go. You know, shit, you got a problem? Come holler at old boy and them. Boom, we gonna take care of that. Restorative justice practices, right? We had the money. They wouldn't give us the fucking houses.
Wow. Well, even Lena came through with her idea about hubs, and it was all around the same time. I just happened to have Wyshawn's ear, who's a county executive. I mean, a county supervisor, and he helped me put it into fruition. Maybe I should share that paperwork in the People's News Network again. Nick McVeigh, man, shout out to Nick McVeigh. It's been a long time. Nick, he said Vince was right about the 2020 election sites. The same election official Zapata is facing jail time now. I made a complaint of election fraud. Funny. And Nick did. Nick came on here with the footage of them throwing away ballots. Remember that, Kamar?
Yep.
He had the
Definitely
footage.
remember that.
He had the footage, and their policy clearly stated that they were not supposed to throw or dispose away, dispose of ballots in the way that they did it. Nothing ever happened. So he's saying right now that individual is facing jail time.
Well, I think they just did. If I don't know, I could be wrong, right? But I think I remember Nick caught him throwing ballots in the garbage, like while they was supposed to be counting them. I thought
He had footage of it. He
that's what I'm
shared the
talking
footage.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was It wasn't even. It was worse than just being done in the way that they supposed to do it. It was like they was throwing away uncounted votes. They ain't even count them yet.
Yeah, who knows what was on those ballots that they threw away, especially considering in that election, all of the challengers got creamed. Like, I don't know how many people we had on here running during that. And that made me step away from politics, period, in Milwaukee for a couple years, because and we made it a concerted effort. Like, that's it, because we had any and everybody on here. Everybody got their ass handed to them, except for David Crowley, but he had assistance from Abley, so it was
We ain't heard from him since.
right. Well, he's working on healing the relationship between the city and the state legislature. Him and the mayor, they're working on that. So he's busy. Shout out to DC, right? Do your thing, partner. Jesse says our supporters having our own PACs to push our agenda and get resources to our communities. That's all I'm talking about. And rest in peace to Chris Johnson, because Chris would call me all the time talking about how he wanted to do a PAC. We were so close to so many times we wanted to do this, and we just couldn't get the support from key people, because you got to understand, Sean referenced this being a city of silos. I call it cronyism. So certain people who would get wind of it would then say, nah, man, don't do that. Don't do that. It's just like when Chris and I tried to do mayoral forums at the Sherman Phoenix and other places. We were not allowed. They made it, what did they tell us? $350 an hour, and we won't even give you sound equipment. And then we looked around and there was 2 or 3 of them by certain people who were allowed to do it. Because, I'm just saying, we tried to do that. We tried to say, okay, this mayoral election is coming up. Let's have, and we wanted to do it so the community, it was for the community. It wasn't about us. So the political action community, I would have to say, is something that we've been trying to establish for a long time. Nick says destruction of election materials. There were ballots that disappeared. He says, rest in peace, Chris Johnson.
I need to interject, please. And no disrespect to you, Nick. But share the relevance with the ballots and the injustices that the community going through, because whether those ballots were counted or not, right? What would have changed, right? The same people were running against the same people that were running. It would have been the same group of clowns at the circus. Okay, the ringmaster changed when the circus master changed when Barrett left, but shit, he left one right in charge. He picked right up. He got the top hat, cane, every motherfucking thing. So how you know what I mean? Help me understand the relevance.
Well, I don't know what Nick would say, but I know I would say, if they're allowed to get away with fraud right in our face when somebody who is effective is running, right, because we don't know who was cheated out of what.
So what do we do?
We don't know somebody who may have been a candidate who really wanted to work for change. If they can just fuck us over and violate laws blatantly,
I'm on my
that goes right into accord with injustice.
I'm on my Kamar shit. I'm on my Kamar shit now. What we gonna do about it though? Right?
Yeah, well, you asked a question and then you jumped ahead a couple squares.
Well,
let's take one step at a time.
Hey, he had it planned out. He was ready.
Right. I play chess.
Shabadoo, right? But not in this instance, though, because you can't skip over. Listen, exposing fraud and exposing corruption is exposing fraud and corruption. So it all goes in together.
Yeah, but I want to find some answers about what's taking place at the Hot Spot and these other stores, because honestly, man, and I've been preaching this since MC got killed. You know what I mean? Even though he didn't get killed at that store, right? That mentality, that savagery, right? That's not what we nurture or breed in our communities, especially not garden homes. You know this, man. You offer capital when that community, like you said, was an affluent community. That was the community where Black people wanted to be at, right? And there's other communities just like that scattered around the city that have been held hostage and ravaged of their resources and their children because of institutions like this, entities like this have been allowed to just go untouched with full anonymity, right? They somehow they're above the law. They're above human law. And I want to talk about that because that's going to save lives. The ballot, okay, they can pass legislation that'll help us save lives. But shit, while they doing that, we need to be talking about this because this is about saving lives.
All right, Kevin.
So yeah, what's happening, Nick?
What's going on with you, Nick?
Not much. I'm just, kicking it, watching the show and everything. And I would definitely have to disagree, with what this man is saying. Because all of us, candidates, and we're all doing everything that's right. And there is no anonymity, right? You have Nation Consultants, Bad Nation. You already know who they are. We've been putting them out there for years now. And so people like myself and Vince and Liz Brown and, just all these different people have been putting this stuff out. And the thing is that people aren't listening, right? And there's nothing being done about it. I mean, look at Nakia dad, right? All this, all the stuff I put out about her, and it all became true, right? She did nothing, not showed up for any of the meetings, not doing anything for the community. And, all of us, like I said, we've been working hard, not getting paid for years and years and years, fighting all this stuff. And, along with Chris. And yeah, I just wanted to, do a shout out to Chris. That definitely broke my heart.
So since we're
he's one of those.
Since we're conversing, I think we're in two different lanes because I was in the neighborhoods and I was on the front lines doing work that people 9 to 5 don't do, that they're not going to do. I was challenging not just a system that's working perfectly for a certain class of citizens, but also what have become the normal in Black communities, right? Death, drugs, despair, everything, right? Your lane is what's opposite of mine, and yeah, so no disrespect, but in that respect, I don't think you can disagree because we're on two different topics.
Well, I'm just saying, like, my soon-to-be wife is, she's old school Cherry. My daughter's Black. Shit. I've been working with King Rick, OBP, and shit all these years too.
Okay,
so all this stuff, right? And
yes, sir.
And,
so I'm the type of person.
Past year, I've been out here. I've been.
I understand
in
that.
The trenches,
I understand
right?
that.
My house has gotten shut up, like all this shit, like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like I said before, though, we're in two different lanes. You just got out here. I've been out here since I was about 6. I mean, I the community that you come from, that's cool. I'm not talking about that in the relation that you are, right? I'm talking about what's going on in these communities and the root of a lot of the issues, the death, the violence, the crime in these communities, and where it's stemming from and how it's affecting the Black community. Now, where you come in at is if you would have won office and you did nothing, then I would be talking to you personally about what you had not done. But since you are not from that community and you have not well, I really hope that you haven't had any dealings with the hotspot, because then you would be just as complicit. So
Hey, okay.
I'm gonna take it that you're naive to the fact.
Hey, let me interject. Right, I now work for the city. I work at the Ruby garage. Right, I fix the saucers. The trash trucks, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's blocks right from the hotspot. Like, I understand all this stuff, and right now we just started a nonprofit, right, to specifically help these issues. And I started with the Hmong community, right, and which is obviously like the super minority here. Like, so we're actually trying to, make a change.
Like I said, once again, Nick, once again, you're proving my point. We're in different lanes. You work for them and you deal with nonprofits. I work for the community. I don't ask for nothing, right? Everything I do is either on intuition, or comes from something that I was involved in previously, and I learned a lesson. Somebody gave me a lesson. What you talking about, OVP and all of that? You can't listen, man. I was OVP before OVP fucked up what they're doing. And what I do, I walk into gunfights, right? And I save people, Nick. That's what I do, bro. Right? I run up. Listen to me, brother. Listen,
just because of color my skin, right?
Because I'm trying to make my point, right? We're talking about what we're talking about, brother.
You don't want to talk over each other.
What we're talking about on this show, right, is how people that have been facing these injustices, right? How do they receive justice? Right? Like I said when I first said, this isn't about me per se. This is about unveiling the injustices and the corruption, the degradation of our communities, right? By outside influences and those that are supposed to represent our common interests, right? The failures of these people, right? This is what we're on tonight. And like I said, out of due respect, we're in two different lanes, my man.
Okay, so I want Nick to be able to respond. Nick, you wanted to respond.
Yeah. So okay, again, like you say, the two different lanes or whatever, right? So I grew up on the north side, right? And yep, it is two different lanes. But the thing is that I've been doing something. I've been trying for years. I've been doing all this stuff. I mean, look,
you would be noticed.
Yeah,
there's different lanes because you with me, and you see some of the violence that's out here, and most of the violence have been around the community that I have grown up in, and that's the 53206 district, which I grew up on 22nd and Cherry. I'm very known over there. I grew up there. I came up here in the 80s. From Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So I see the diversity by me having one of the biggest families out here, in some of those crimes that's being committed. Have little cousins that's part of those groups. But at the same time, we as a community, only thing we have to come together. We have to come together as a tribe ourselves. If we don't do nothing, we're waiting for everybody else to do something, but we must do something.
Now hold on. Who are we hearing from now? Because I know Nick's voice didn't change.
This is Nick's fiance.
Okay. I'm gonna say, Nick, you changed.
A very big family, influential. I grew up in Hillside. I know I can name almost everybody. I'm pretty known out here. And by Nick entering the family, he's been seeing, quite a few things that's going on out here with a lot of things with my family too. Also, it's like no justice, a lot of stuff that he's witnessing now. So he is inside. He does see some of the things that's happening out here. A lot of the crimes out here, because my family has been touched. When I say devastated touch, Seville is number one. That's one of my family members. I was out there with his mother, Mildred. I was there. The incident with Cherry Street, that's part of my family member, Teddy B. It's so much in our community that's going on that we're not pulling together. And I would love to see some of us Black females get together. That's, I'm 47. I've been in the game a long time. I just seen a lot out here. My kid's daddy and been indicted. It's a lot of things that I just seen that went on. I know how corrupt the system is. I know it is corrupt police officers out there, firsthand. I done had my accounts, but at the same time, we cannot say that because of somebody else color of their skin that it's a diversity there. Because
I don't think nobody said that.
On the north side.
Nobody said that. Nobody said
yeah.
this.
Yeah, we can't use diversity, but it's a lot of things. Politics are holding.
Okay,
it's
my sister.
Politics.
All right. So Patience says there's different roles. Everyone's not going to be in the same lane.
See,
Kamar, you had something you want to say. Go ahead.
And see, it ain't that wasn't no shot at Nick. That wasn't no shot by him saying they're in different lanes. That's like I'm in a different lane than every brother on this show. You see what I'm saying? My lane is health and wellness, holistic health and wellness for the community. You dig what I'm saying? I come from a certain part of the community. I did certain shit in the community. I know certain people in the community. This is what he's talking about when he say, like, we got two different lanes. I'm fighting a whole different battle than you fight. It ain't no disrespect to that. We don't want y'all to feel like that. And I really feel like y'all are taking it like it's a shot. It's not a shot. Whatever you're doing in the community, we love it. You know what I'm saying? I was just on here the other day saying, like, we need to quit calling out names and shit. You know what I mean? And sticking on names. But I mean, like I said, it wasn't no shot or nothing like that. I don't want y'all to feel like that because it definitely wasn't a shot.
No, it wasn't no shot.
I'm sure Sean know how to throw some shots, you know.
Yeah, that wasn't no shot.
He said, I'm sure he knows how to throw some shots.
Yeah, I'm sure he know how to throw some shots. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't.
Oh my God! Yeah,
like he said, it's different lanes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. And once again, we can't argue about the argument. So
right.
Everybody on here wants the same thing. My sister, I know Nick, I know Sean. We all want the same thing. Big picture politics is that we want our community to be better. We want Black people to receive justice that we've been robbed of for a very long time. We want the subjugation to stop. We want the exploitation in our community to go away. So I don't, and I don't think nobody can say, well, you ain't doing what I'm doing, so I'm more important than you. It's all equally important, but the fact is that there is different, because even Sean referenced the 9 to 5 people. I've spent 20 years in social services. I put brothers to work. I've gotten brothers diplomas. I've sent brothers to school. I've got families reunited through the juvenile justice system. And I don't take it when he says, well, Kev, you 9 to 5, it is what, look, helping people and being able to feed my kids has always been a definite plus for me. So I wouldn't take it like,
that's not a shot either, because when y'all go home, man, that's where we come in at. You know what I mean? Somebody, bro, it's just filling gaps. We gotta fill when it comes to us, there should be no gaps. Period.
Right. No doubt. No, I'm saying I didn't take it as a shot.
Taking shots. Everybody think I be taking shots because I really believe in what the fuck I say, man. I don't just say shit. I think about every fucking thing I do and say, man, because I know that I've given my word to people, bro. I can't just be erratic. I can't just always just go for motherfucker throat, because I'm not helping them. But I am gonna challenge your bullshit when it comes to them.
Okay. I want to say that we are going to continue this conversation in the new year. But Sean, I want you to tell me what's your next step, because I'm looking forward to cutting on my TV saying we have recovered footage of a local corner store, convenience store in the inner city to so what's next? What's the next step for this hot footage that you sent me?
I'm gonna send it to the media. After that, I'm gonna send a letter to everybody once again, right? Exposing this store, and they got the opportunity to do the right thing by not only me, but by that community and those surrounding communities. You know, listen, man, if you gotta give a store 3-4 warnings about the same shit, right? They don't need to have that store. They don't need to have that store, man. You know, this shit got to stop.
And I must say that looked like some good weed too. I was kind of
It
jealous.
was.
Like,
It
damn, that
was.
looked like some
Yeah.
good ass weed, man.
Yeah.
That's some fire, as they call it. Lord have
Yeah.
mercy.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
go down there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
All
I
right.
couldn't. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no,
You
shout
got
out to
that
my partner, Big Mike Kimmett. What's up, Mike? He said being a black man in this world is something you experience.
What's up, big homie?
He said this is way damn different than what you see as somebody who is not black. You have to respect that or you're being disrespectful. That's where the race comes into play. You're right, Mike. I mean, it's a perch, man. As a black man, we sitting here, you got to be in this shit. You can't, there's no way that,
See, what Nick don't understand, and it's not a shot, right? But Nick can go to the police and nobody gonna, he may get some backlash, right? But somebody like me going to the police, yeah, I can't come outside no more. You know what I mean? My life is worth about a nickel. You know what I mean? And for some people, this is snitching, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, I got a big family, and it is what it is.
Right.
But this ain't about that. You know, I'm not gaining shit. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna give me those 5.5 years back that I spent in hell, that I'm spending in hell. This is worse than any jail cell. Okay, I've done about 20 years. What I've endured in the last 5.5 years is worse than any time I've ever spent in any jail, hole, or anything. I wouldn't wish this on nobody. So this ain't about, Sean trying to get they some misdemeanor cases. But I didn't do that shit. And for me to admit that I did, that's giving them a pass. That's saying, okay, you know what? Yeah, y'all can keep on doing that shit. Well, I ain't never been that nigga. Not that nigga. And I ain't gonna start being that nigga. I'm a motherfucking man. And I'm gonna stand on that to the day I die. All I got is my motherfucking word, and I gave it to people. And I'm gonna honor that. And if a motherfucker got a problem with that, then hey, it is what the fuck it is.
Ewok says they don't need no more opportunity. Fuck them. Nick says, I tell you what, I'm gonna help shut the hotspot down. No more protection from Ashanti. Mike Kimmett says, Sean, I'm here. You know what it is.
I already know, big homie.
Yep. Shout out to Big Mike Kimmett. Big Mike, holla at your mans. Nick McVeigh said, I get treated, but I know the right ones that shut them down. I'm a writer for all of us. Ride or die ain't no lie. And he's rhyming. Feels so empty without me.
You stupid.
Right? I had to throw an Eminem thing, and I'm horrible. Listen. Once again, this would be a conversation that we will continue to have. Sean is obviously, if you haven't been able to tell, Sean has an open invitation. So anytime he hits me and says, "Man, I got some shit I want to drop," and one thing I don't do is when I'm saying this is what the show gonna be about, I never change. I'd be like, "Well, you call in Wednesday." But I thought that this was so important. Once I seen that video, I said, oh shit, yeah, we got to put this out here. And if you're tuning in, I want you all to be aware. And this time I'm going to say this. I'm going to let my ego talk a little bit. I'm tired of everybody shorting Outlaw Radio. When you see this shit on the news, when you hear about it, know it was here first. I'm sick and tired of everybody. You hear what we talking about, then I see, oh, damn, that's what they talking about today. You see who's on here as a guest, then, oh, shit, that's who you got on there as a guest. I see some of y'all look-a-hoeing. I see some of y'all looking. I see you watching. They say, Young Jeezy say, what you're looking ass. I see you. Okay. So when you hear this shit, just say, man, they was just talking about that on Outlaw Radio the other night. Just know that. Let me see. Mike says, Nick McVeigh will ride, no doubt. You're right, Patience. Outlaw exclusive, just like shout out to the Peer family that hollered at us about Justice for Denari first. They were able to come on here, the parents of Denari, and tell their story. And, I see a lot of people going to On the G and OMG awards and talking about what they do in the community in terms of platforms. And they ain't never called us. You having conventions at barbershops talking about what's going on in the community, ain't never called us. You having breakfast talking about you brainstorming, and they never called on us. And we've been on this shit hard body karate for 7-8 years strong consistently. I have over 1,000 shows that I've done in this city for a very long time on different platforms, Blog Talk, Spreaker, you name it, I could frame it. At one point, we wasn't even using this service. We were just going butt naked on Facebook, right? So it's time for all that bullshit to stop too. I'm a little perturbed by that because I keep seeing, and I see pop-up podcasts that last for a month and everybody's watching the shit and the shit's gone. So enough of me talking about my shit. Sean, I want to give you a final chance to talk about what you want to come, and forgive me for getting on my soapbox.
Honestly, man, what I've lost can't be replaced, right? So I don't want, that's gone. I want my life back though. If I'm not asking nobody to do nothing that's not right. I mean, call the people that you elected. Share this with them. Have them call the district attorney. Help me get my life back.
Okay.
At least some of it.
Yeah, it's already fractured, but try to, you want to try to get what you can back. Mama Jenkins is saying you need to go to the FBI. 2022 has been a crazy year, y'all. And there's a lot that has been happening, but I'm glad that I was able to have this discussion tonight on this platform. And we'll be back Monday. So we'll shoot the shit about the bullshit. It's just so important that, when you have an opportunity to talk about something that's viable, you take advantage of it. My brother Kamar, the New Year's is coming up. What you got popping, man? Reflections, anything you want to drop right now before we close it out? I just want to give you a chance to pontificate, if you will.
Nah, man, I just want everybody to remember, man, life is really easy, man. We make it hard. You dig what I'm saying? Life is easy. We make it hard, man. Just have good intent in all your endeavors.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Brother Rail, you've been real quiet tonight, and I know what you do. I know you're a sponge. I know you sit and soak up. So, bless us with some jewels, man.
Shit, just keep on keeping on. That's all you can do, Drew. What you know to do is right. Just keep pushing, and that shit gonna work itself out. It's fucked up that. I'm just getting a glimpse of just the whole politics of, even businesses, man. Like, I knew this shit, was with the schools and the police and all that stuff, but like businesses, like it sound like almost sound like some gang shit, but it's a store. It sounds like it's some gang shit, but it's a store. I feel like I'm watching The Wire, but. I'm curious to see how this all play out after everything is put on the table.
That's right, and it does seem like something you see off TV, and that's why when the brother was on here and we did the show Public Enemy, the way it played out is a lot of people were saying, "Damn, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know that. I didn't know it's people who standing up for the community here being ostracized and this kind of thing." But it happens every day. I'm here to tell you, man. A lot of y'all gonna go on and come on Facebook because I realize, man, the metaverse, social media has become a lot of people's reality. We used to call them keyboard killers and mouse pad mobsters. And people, they live vicariously through Facebook and they can create this image of who they want to be. And so their avatar is whatever representation they choose to utilize for social media, taking photos with filters and putting sound bites behind your voice and all this and declaring that you are vibe and that you are this and you are that, and then turning around in the next stanza to come back and say, Lord, please help me. Please send me $50. Well, I thought you was a whole vibe. Okay, I said all that to say I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, man. I really don't. I feel like if you got a goal in mind, you need to pursue that goal wholeheartedly, and you don't have to talk about it. You ain't got to speak about it. You just got to be about it. But if I do have to say there's one thing that I would like to see more in the Black community in 2023, it is accountability. We lack accountability, and we won't even admit our own bullshit. Because a lot of us have a lot of bullshit on us. We rather stand and point the finger at somebody else to take the attention off of ourselves. It's time to let all that shit go, because it's hard for us to hold elected officials accountable when we don't hold ourselves accountable. We can't expect elected officials to come walking down the block with a garbage bag and pick up garbage, or to go in people's homes and clean up their homes, or to discipline their kids. That is shit we have to do. Once we start doing that and taking care of what we need to take care of in our personal lives, addressing our mental health, addressing our physical health, me included. I'm a big burger eating motherfucker. All of this kind of stuff, any kind of dysfunction that you have, it's 2022 about to be 2023. It's okay not to be okay. As a matter of fact, if you Black out here and you tell me it's all good, I'm gonna think you probably got a mental problem, because there's no way as a Black person that you could even think that it's all good. Because even if it's something that ain't affecting you, if you don't stand up for it, pretty soon it's gonna come back to bite you in your ass, right? So I just want accountability to be what our mission is for 2023. At home, outside the home, in the neighborhood, in your personal life, be accountable, man. Tell the truth about it. Kamara always says you gotta reveal it to heal it, and that's exactly the truth, man.
That's accountability right there.
That's right. And so we'll be back Monday, man. Sean Moore will be back. I'm gonna be waiting with my popcorn to see him expose these some bitches. And everybody, I want a line. We'll do a special show for y'all to all call in and apologize to this brother for all of the bullshit that y'all supported against him when all the brother was trying to do is clean up his community. I know you don't want it. I know you don't want it, but I'm calling for it. I'm calling for it.
Call the district attorney.
Call him too, right? Call him too. Thank you. Call him too. So I want everybody to know, man, I'm very blessed to be able to do what I do, and it's a labor of love, but it's damn sure a labor. But I wouldn't have it no other way. My convictions are my convictions, and more often than not, I run into people when I hear them talking. But then when I'm out and about in the community, I don't see them anywhere. So what that tells me is that their criticism of our community outweighs their contribution, and that's why I refer to them as some coons. I'll see y'all Monday night, man. Peace and love. Outlaw Radio, man. For life, man. Be easy, brother.
Peace.